What's that, darling? Sorry? I know you feel bare, and I know you feel exposed and naked. And whilst it looks all right from this view, I appreciate that it's 2022 and you might want to put some clothes on. Welcome, legends and heli heads and geeks and radio control lovers and stick bangers and sport flyers. This video is about turning Phoenix into something a little bit more respectable. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a speed fuselage on her. Now, I'm not going to video that because it's quite a simple process, but what I am going to do is, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take her face off. Don't worry, we're going to take her face off. And then we're going to look at a few adjustments that we've had to make on this frame in order to fit the speed fuselage. So face off. So right, now she's got her face off. So what adjustments have we had to make? Well, first of all, when you buy the speed fuselage, you need to remember that it comes for the 700E only. Now, it was quite a few generations back. This is a 700X. So you'll need to buy the conversion kit, which provides you with a few stud bolts. And this is about 10 quid. You can get it from Align Trex and most other outlets. So if you do buy a speed fuselage for the Align Trex 700, remember it's designed for the 700E, and you'll need to buy that bolt kit that comes with it. In fact, a picture is on the screen now. Fitting it is quite simple. First thing you need to do is you need to remove a couple of bolts that hold in the rear or the front drive here, both sides. You take those bolts out, and if you remember from the build video, the front drive is held in via the use of hexagonal studs, and then the screws go into it either side to capture the frame onto or to sandwich this front drive in between the frame. Well, these stud bolts here, I'm not sure if you can see those, but again, I'll try and put a picture up so you can see what they are. But these stud bolts simply screw in to those hexagonal studs, and this provides a thread coming out of the frame. These little bolts here, again, you probably can't see that, but that little bolt there, which has a button head on top. Let me see whether I can get this off without dropping it. There we go. The button head and the standoff there. This standoff is going to screw into that stud, and then this button head is going to screw into the standoff and capture the boom of the speed fuselage. The only other thing is that you need to do that 4 times, to this side, to the other side, and there are holes already pre-drilled in the speed fuselage boom. The only thing you either have to do then is you need to move the rear strut, the rear brace, for the frame. You need to move that closer in and towards the servo hole here, and there are measurements that are provided for that. That's all you've got to do for a 700X in order to fit it into a speed fuselage. Right, let's have a look at this speed fuselage. Here's the box that it comes in. I got me another box. This is from Align Trex, from the guys down in Slough. Really good as ever from Raj and his team. Came to me in 2 days. I've already had a look at it, so I've had a pre-look, but I'm going to do an unboxing with you now. Really sturdy packaging. Came inside another box, as we know now from the unboxing video that you can see up there, from the 700X. The guys down at Slough really do make sure that the product that you've spent a lot of money on is going to come to you in one piece. This speed fuselage for the 700 is about £170, I think, something like that. If you join as a member, actually, as a gold membership, which costs you £20 a year, I think you get 5% off. So that's a good deal that you can have with Align Trex and lots of other shops are also doing that now for some discount, and I think that's great news. That's good news for all of us. We need to help them. They're the suppliers, and of course they go out their way to help us. So why not give them your hard-earned cash? And that's what we've done here. £170 for this speed fuselage, and I'm sure you'll agree, worth every penny. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, crikey, holy moly. Right, so now we've got it unboxed. I've just stupidly put it inside the other box as well, because it's higher up. So anyway, so I think it's probably, I'll tell you what, we'll keep it here, and then we'll chuck it on there, all right? Well packaged, as you can see. Don't need that. And the boom well placed in here. You can see it's cradled and so on. And the boom is inside the main fuselage. You can see that I've gone for red and gold. We'll have a closer look at the colours in a minute, because I think that goes really well. And of course, this helicopter's name is Phoenix, and I think this is fitting. Really nice canopy. Some rare earth magnets, neodymium magnets at the back. You can see that this canopy, you know, wraps around the whole of the rotor mast. That was the light. Never mind. Yeah, so we'll pop them there for the minute. Inside here you get a rotor holder for the speed fuselage. You get some destructions, really easy to follow, and like I said, you know, I've basically told you what it is you need to do, but they make it very clear in there what you need to do. As I said, you know, in the unboxing, in the recent video that I've done, I said I think they can redo their manuals. I like their manuals. It's something you can hold, etc. But I do think they probably need to be updated. They can be quite complex. They can become quite busy in the pictures. And you get a new tail fin with some extended bolts, etc. in there. And that is essentially what you get. A very nice box, and I should be really, really sad to burn that. Alright, a much closer look now at the canopy. Just look at that, absolutely fantastic. Nice red, white, the gold here, or the gold here, the yellow here. I think that's going to look really nice. You see the canopy mounts are already put in for you, here and here and here. But as it says 700E. Listen, if you're that worried about it saying 700E, then paint this out, but I wouldn't bother. I'd leave it exactly as it is. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It's really solid, this canopy, yeah, like I said, I've already had it out and already stretched it open, etc. You can help yourself when you put the canopy on by making sure that the rotor mast is facing towards the direction of flight, which of course keeps the control rods closer in to the frame. But beautiful canopy there. The boom, however, which I've partially taken off, partially unwrapped. Let's move that off of there, like that. And yeah, you can see the boom here. I mean, it's just beautiful quality, wonderful finish on it. Yeah, here are the bolts at the end that we were talking about. The two there that are going to go into the front drive, and the one at the bottom there, which of course we've moved. And we've moved that in accordance with the instructions, which are very, very clear in there. So there we go. Now a couple of things we've got to do on Phoenix in order to have this speed fuselage. The first thing is we have to take off the rear braces, which I've done here, and you can see them next to a spare set that I've got for a 700L V2, and the same ones that are on Bella, and you can see they're significantly thicker, but exactly the same bolt hole at the bottom, exactly the same size, or slightly shorter, you can see that, but that's because of the thickness of it. So this sits further along the boom towards the front of the helicopter, ultimately, because these are shorter. You could interchange them if you wanted to. I think I should just leave them exactly as they are. Over on the helicopter, well, yeah, we've got to prepare, as I said, there's a close-up there of the studs that we've put in, and I'm rerouting now my rudder cable in order that it's not going to get captured by the speed fuselage as it fits along here, and I'll redo that. Along the boom here we can see that we've removed the braces as I showed, and we've also removed the tail fin because the rear tail drive is going to have to come off, disconnected from the control rod here, and we're going to have to fit the boom on. Then we're going to have to fit the tail drive on at the end. Right, well, wish me luck, won't you? And if by the power of magic of the tube of you, next time we come back, we should see Phoenix with her clothes on. Well, welcome back. As you can see, the speed fuselage is on, and wow, you know, doesn't she look fantastic? Phoenix has been born. The only thing left now to do is to fit the main blades, the tail blades, and take her out for a spin. Hopefully it's not going to be a spin unless I give full left or right rudder. But yeah, all we've got left to do now is give her a test flight. We've done all the setup, the mechanical setup, the electronic setup. I shall get Super Moon to check the ESC for me, but other than that, she's ready to go. Putting the speed fuselage on wasn't that difficult. It took some patience lining up the holes at the end of the boom here, you know, at the end of the boom here to put the tail fin on. That was quite difficult. You've got to line the holes up inside the actual boom here into the tail boom inside. But all part of the journey and all fun at the end of the day. I did have to make some further adjustments onto the fuselage, onto the front canopy. You can see here, I had to get a Dremel out and create some space for the motor there. And I would certainly advise that you do that. I have got hands like a 110-year-old pensioner, so my half circle here isn't that accurate, but you know, it's not that bad, I suppose. You know, I mean, it's not a concourse. We want it to be functional, and the whole point of a speed fuselage is speed is good, but look at the presence this has than a normal pod and boom. You know, this is going to be a lot of fun to fly this, and I'm so looking forward to it. All I've got to do now is fit the blades, wait for some lovely sunny weather, and then get up the flight field and give this girl a good running around. Likewise with Bella. There's one final thing left to do, and that is to fit some lights, and I'm going to do that on this on Phoenix. I'm going to fit a red light to the left, a green light to the right, and I'm going to fit a strobe at the back. And the reason for that is that I'm doing everything I possibly can to ensure that 1, I can see her, 2, I can orientate myself to her, and 3, if I end up losing this one, I am going to get it back. This has got a tracker on it, a GPS on it, it's got a battery cell alarm on it, lights on it, which are strobe lights. Once bitten, twice shy. I'll never ever lose a helicopter again, no matter what size it is, let alone a beast like this. Thanks for joining me. See you on the next one. Take care.